Hello, hi, and welcome back, friends. As you can see, I got a new setup. It was already visible in my previous videos, but if you missed them, I finally set up a green screen so you can see a little more of the video around me. And I'm continuing my exploration of Warhammer 40k lore, I guess. I already reacted to Bricky's every faction in the Warhammer 40k universe in a nutshell. He covered both the Imperium of Men and all of the Xeno races, or the alien races. Not a lot to say after part 2 of that reaction. Only that you guys obviously came through with a lot of suggestions. I will probably react to most, if not all of them. I don't know how deep I will go into this rabbit hole, like you guys obviously want me to, and I have no reason not to. But I would like this channel to primarily be about games, so yeah, not much to really address in this intro, so I will dive right into every single Warhammer Space Marine Legion in a nutshell by Bricky. Links are in the description if you want to, support Bricky and his genius content. I'm subscribed. I will definitely be following his channel. I think his new content is more about games rather than Warhammer, and that's okay. I like video games, so yeah, let's see what he has to say.
The people on the internet. The time has come. The reckoning begins. Your boy got himself a shaker cup.
Yo! That's huge.
After many months of shilling gamer subs like mad, my favorite thing to do, we have ourselves a goddamn shaker cup. It's here, the official Bricky waifu shaker cup. Do you see the gal on here? If it's not great at focusing, I'm sure there'll be a thing in the background. Skater, put a thing in the background. Long white hair, absolutely. A bit more toned, abs, obviously. Bikini, hit it. Legally distinct mark on the face, of course. She wants you to do the diddle thing, maybe, but most likely to serve in a glorious army. Legally distinct? I think so. The Bricky Shaker Cup is available now.
That's a nice design. I like it.
While it is hot. But if you're thinking, Bricky, what should I put in this? Well, how about my top 10 favorite gamer subs flavors from number 1 to number 10? All of them incredible, but listed regardless, and an addendum for those that are caffeine free. This shaker cup is available now in the description of this video. You may use code Bricky as well at checkout to get a discount on your order. A massive amount of profits goes to yours truly, and a huge thank you to Gamer Subs for sponsoring and for getting me this beautiful cup. Go out there and get it. I'm gonna take one more sip for the camera, slow it down, throw some sexy music in there, and I'll
that's cool, and I don't know how old this video is. I didn't really check. I hope he also got his own flavor to go along with that. It's always fucking cool to have ways to support your favorite creators while also having something tangible to show for it. Yeah, those gamer sub fucking bottles are very popular lately among different YouTubers, and yeah, that's a cool way to support them. That's nice. I wish I was fucking sponsored by Monster Energy. I cannot stop drinking this shit.
Hello everybody, my name is Brick.
Not only because I love the flavor of sugar-free Monster Energy Ultra Rosa, but there's another big reason why I almost constantly drink this during videos, if you ever were wondering. It's because I live in Belgium now, and Belgium is really fucked up for some reason when it comes to flavors of sugar-free things. I'm on a diet. I just cutting out calories out of like sugary drinks has kept me losing weight for so fucking long now. If you go back like to the first videos on this channel, you can see it in my fucking face. I was much chubbier, but that's besides the point. I like Monster Energy. I prefer it sugar free, so I don't have to worry about the calories. And for some goddamn reason in Belgium, it's so hard to get any sugar-free energy drinks, even regular energy drinks. Like, the diversity is not there. I lived a little bit in Germany. They have way more brands and flavors of energy drinks. I lived most of my life in Poland. Way more flavors to pick from, including like sugar-free and non-sugar-free options. I don't know, Belgium is fucking living in pre-industrial revolution world or something. Like even this pink one only gets sold in select locations, and I mean really select locations. It's fucked up. That's why I always drink either a Monster Energy or a fucking coffee, because I need my caffeine and there are no other ways to ingest it, basically.
Bricky, currently stuck in the walls of the most prodigious school in the Imperium by punishment for falling asleep during class. God bless the Schola Progenium. Many of you have come across my Every Faction Explained video. Firstly, thank you. Secondly, we are here
fucking
to dig
great.
A little deeper.
They are
Space
amazing.
Marines are the quintessential poster boys of Warhammer 40,000. When people think 40, they think Space Marines, but there are many types of Space Marines formed.
That's true, and from what Bricky said, that's why Space Marine legions were always really good in the tabletop. It's cool that the setting has other things, though there are like other things in the setting which are quite cool. I actually wanna ask people who are familiar with Warhammer, was the Tau the latest expansion in the universe? Or because I know the Tau is from like I think 2001, something around that. They are basically the only expansion that I know happened. I think the Necrons were there from the start, but that they got a lore. Their lore got changed or introduced or something like that. I'm not sure. If somebody could point that out in the in like comments, I would be really grateful. Were the Tau the last like new race of things or like new faction introduced into the tabletop? Because I know I think they keep releasing new figurines like for already established things, but I kept ever since like Bricky and then Mandalore in the Fire Warrior review talked about Tau, I keep wondering if the creators, what was it, Games Workshop, I think. I wonder if Games Workshop like got scared of introducing like new factions because the Tau were not very welcome. Anyway, back to the Space Marines. Like Bricky said, poster boys of this entire franchise. You see them like before you are ever introduced to this IP or franchise or tabletop, whatever. You will always run across a picture of or a figure of a Space Marine before you know anything else.
From 20 separate legions. We are going to rattle them off in order and give you a quick rundown of each one. A disclaimer, like in my Every Faction Explained video, this is a mix of accuracy and memes. If I say the Salamanders Legion specializes in hugging children and petting puppies, they aren't exactly doing that, mostly.
I would like to pet this creature.
But you can infer that they care about civilians and are a bit kinder than the average Space Marine. A Space Marine being a genetically modified super soldier that's had 1 million new and terrifying organs.
I saw this cutscene. It got recommended to me right after I watched like other Bricky's videos. A video got recommended to me that compared how Tychus from StarCraft 2 was put into marine armor from StarCraft, and there was a cutscene comparing that to how a Space Marine gets his armor. And I don't know where that cutscene is from. Is it promotional material? Is it some game? But it looked cool as fuck.
Shoved into them, refrigerators strapped to their bodies, and are so far above the average human that they are referred to as demigods instead. Each Space Marine has a father, unlike you, a Primarch, which is basically an even bigger Space Marine that was forged in a lab by the God Emperor of Mankind, that gigantic golden dude you see everywhere, who is both the leader and now the martyr of humanity. The Primarchs are his 20 sons, built in a lab, who lead 20 legions of Space Marines, who are their sons, not from a lab, but rather a dissection table, giving them the powers and skills of their associated Primarch via a gene seed, a special organ carrying the genetic makeup of their Primarch and, you know, their seed. So if Jagatai Khan of the White Scars has the genetic makeup that wants him to go really, really fast, then his sons, the Space Marines, also want to go really, really fast. I should note that I am only referring to the legions this time around. If you're interested in sub-factions like, let's say, the Black Templars, then it's not going to be here. However, I do have a excellent Black Templar video. I'd argue it's probably the most accurate one I can think of. It goes through the whole lore, everything about them. It's a very long video, and I'll put it in the description. Just look up Black Templar video in the description. You'll get what you need. And now with...
I'm guessing that's gonna be next on the list to watch then, because that's interesting. Do exceptional people from the Empire of Man like get the honor of becoming a Space Marine? Or are they literally grown in a lab with the single purpose of being a Space Marine in the future? That wasn't made clear enough, I guess, here. Maybe, you know what, let's just, yeah, we will keep watching and see. Somebody can also point it out in the comments
easy
if they
explanation
feel
out
like
of the
it.
way, let us begin with our first legion. Dark Angels. Allegiance, loyal. Primarch Lionel Johnson, a duelist, a knight, a real asshole, I'm not gonna lie. The single word descriptor, paranoid. The Dark Angels are our first legion, hailing from the death world known as Caliban. Their Primarch, Lionel Johnson, is what happens when you try to make the side profile Chad meme into a genuine character. He is a master tier duelist, a brilliant strategist, and an overall dick. There are few situations.
Not gonna lie, some of that art, not this one, but some of the art previously shown, looks almost like it fucking belongs in a World of Warcraft, which is pretty funny, but yeah, if he's supposed to be this chivalrous knight, duelist, then I guess that look really fits him.
He isn't prepared for, and few fights he isn't ready to lead head on. This makes the Dark Angels have a very Knights of the Round Table vibe. They look like the knights of old with these large suits of power armor, often donning robes and hoods. Their names also follow this. They have like Ezekiel, Azrael, Belial, Samuel, and so on. However, the common thing associated with Dark Angels are the Fallen, a part of their faction that turned traitor against the Imperium, and they are very heavily trying to expunge all knowledge of them from existence. Fallen? What Fallen? Never heard of any Fallen. Do you know about the Fallen? We're gonna take you away and mind probe you to make sure you have never heard of the Fallen. They definitely don't exist, and if they do exist, which they don't, we will find them even though they don't exist. They love their interrogations. They thrive in it. Lionel Johnson is a scorched earth policy sometimes, and it's given to his sons in force, which makes sense considering that when the Lion heard of a Chaos Primarch on a homeworld different Primarch, whose mom was there, he was like, let's nuke it. The Dark Angels are a special group where they formulate themselves into 3 different factions. The Deathwing Terminators, slow-moving, tough phalanx. The Raven Wing, fast jet bikes and flyers. And the Green Wing, which is your standard Marines. They are a jack of all trades, but not in the sense where they're good at everything, but rather they have a lot of things that are good at specific things. Like instead of 20 people that have a multi-tool, they instead have 20 people with gigantic power tools for every job imaginable. If you like being suspicious about everyone and everything in your surroundings, but you also like to have a whole lot of deep night type.
Ooh, that figurine in the middle looks cool as fuck. With the giant iron fist, okay, that goes hard.
Or run the Dark Angels.
The One Piece! Piece! The One Piece is real!
Our second legion is a special one.
If you can see,
That's
yeah,
promising.
numbers all go.
Wait, what? What about the second legion? Is he gonna come back to that, or is that like a meme or something? Fuck, I don't know. I don't know enough about the lore to get that.
The Emperor's Children. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Fulgrim, a perfectionist, an artist, a sneaky snake. And the single word descriptor, perfection. The Emperor's Children are all about the pursuit of perfection. Perfection in all they do. Perfection in war, in artistry, and perfection in every other aspect of life. Their armor is a gleaming pink, purple, and gold. Their ships have spires of gorgeous marble and gold statues in their honor. Fulgrim is a man who believes the pursuit...
That's a pretty cool aesthetic, except for the color. I don't know, the color, the whole ship being this this shade of very bright purple or pinkish just looks weird. Like it doesn't match the gold, in my opinion, like at all. What the fuck? For perfectionists, they sure don't know how to pick up color that will complement all that fucking gold ornament.
Perfection is the goal of all things, and I mean, look at him! Can you truly tell me that he is not perfect? The hair, the features. As Primarchs go, he is the one you look at, and if 40k had a guy that would give you the best sex you've ever...
Why does that purple is aggravating to me? God damn, does it not match the gold and the red for some reason? Like, I know the purple is color of royalty, regality, historically, I mean. But holy fuck, does that not look good with that bunch of gold?
Had and never call you back. This is the fucking guy.
White gold, if they had some white mixed in there, that would go really fucking hard.
Which is why this pursuit of decadence led them to the evils of chaos. Yes, Emperor's Children are our first Chaos Legion, and not just a normal one. One devoted to, you guessed it, Slaanesh, the Prince of Pleasure, god of unspeakable excess. The Emperor's Children in their pursuit are now horrifyingly mutated beings through Slaanesh's great will. They torture and maim to feel perfection through pain. They screech and attack with sonic weaponry for perfection through sound. And they slaughter, aiming for perfection in war. Fulgrim himself lost the battle against Slaanesh as a demon.
Okay, see, with the white it works better. When you gotta have more of that white there to off balance that fucking purple, and then the cape is all red. That, fuck me, that's too many colors at once now. Yeah, I just don't dig their aesthetics. I don't dig their theme. I don't dig what they are about. Are they like a popular faction? They don't seem like they would be that
corrupted his mind
popular.
and transformed him into the sexy man he was, into the sexy snake he is now. A demon Primarch.
I didn't know the setting has some like furry, or more specifically scaly characters. Holy shit, that looks like it was drawn by somebody who likes that type of art.
Corrupted
Not gonna
and
lie.
bringing his legion's will by himself. As far as Emperor's Children go, they are some bad people. They do horrible things to anyone and everything. In fact, they're such trolls that their battle cry is for the Emperor, despite being horribly mutated and corrupted. If you've ever taken a little too much of a drug, or maybe the music at the concert was too loud and you didn't bring any earplugs, or whatever the reason, you just take all those things and you dial it, and you dial it, and you twist it, and the knob breaks. And that is the Emperor's Children.
From the classic fucking scene from the Back to the Future.
Dead. God, we mean dead, and we have killed him.
The Iron Warriors. Allegiance, traitor. Primarch, Perturabo, a warlord, a siege smith, an incel. Single word descriptor, siege. Continuing the trend of our Chaos Legions, we have the Iron Warriors led by Primarch Perturabo of Olympia.
I love how immediately they have that black and yellow stripes, you know, that are associated very much with heavy machinery. You know, used to building, demolition, and whatever.
Yeah. To understand the Iron Warriors, though, one must first understand Perturabo. A man so bitter, coffee beans run for light. A man who hates the world and everyone in it, who never got recognition for his deeds, who hates his brothers and hates their accomplishments even more. Someone so laughably petty, so incredibly bitter that he goes full circle to becoming likable. Why? Because he's competent. The Horus Heresy, we didn't talk about the Horus Heresy. Intermission. So Horus was the Emperor's favorite son, right? You know, so the Emperor walked into his room. Horus said, Dad, I just gifted 150 subs to Amaranth, and she said my name a ton, and she loved me for it. I really think that I might get to meet her one day. And it kind of played out something like this.
Your feelings for her are not real. They are real to me!
And then it started playing out a little bit more like this.
Let the seas boil. Let the stars fall. So it takes the last drop of my blood.
Where do these amazing fucking cutscenes come from? Is it like a game and something like an animated CGI show or something? That looks fucking cool.
Yeah. So Iron Warriors, the Horus Heresy wouldn't have gotten shit done without Peter Turbo. Imagine an entire faction that is the personification of brutal industrialism, where you serve the Legion until you're...
Like I said, those stripes immediately, like heavy machinery, industrial things. Yeah, makes sense. They look cool as fuck, by the way. Just, you know, the overabundance of armor. Even more armor than typical Space Marine, like, who are already known for their heavy, ridiculous armor. That's a characteristic right up my alley.
Dying breath. You build and you kill and you siege and you kill and you literally summon demons just to take them and trap them in machines and use them as cannon fodder. This is a thing they do. They summon demons to trap and use as shock troops. The Iron Warriors are siege warfare incarnate. They are heavy weapons. Cool. They are tanks. They are turrets, and they don't die. They hate Imperials. They hate Imperial Fists.
Do you need a pacifier, Iron Baby? No, I don't.
They are bitter incarnate. Perturabo and the Iron Warriors don't serve the Chaos Gods because they like them. They serve them because fuck you.
Come on, guys, let's go.
Not another speeding ticket. I'll fight it in court, but I don't think they're gonna accept gotta go fast as a medical condition.
The White Scars. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Jagatai Khan, a speed demon, a plane strider, a roast god. Single word descriptor, speed. Hailing from Chagorus. The White Scars are all about speed. They love melee, but they love it even more when they are doing it from a motorcycle or land speeder. Or honestly, just running.
That edit of the Akira poster was fucking amazing. Oh my god.
Really damn fast. The White Scars are honestly forgotten about a lot, and that's lore accurate. They are a legion that doesn't seek the recognition or glory from the combat they engage in. They engage in it because it is their duty and because they love it. Not in the insane slaughter enjoyment of loving it, but in the thrill of the fight. They are known as the Laughing Killers because they ride into battle with a smile on their face and a chuckle in their throat. And as you can tell by their Primarch's name, they are Mongolian based. Remove horses and replace them with motorcycles and land spears, and that's your style. They are heavily based on the old times of Genghis Khan, and consider this is 40k and everybody's evil. You know, that fits. The White Scars are actually physical scars on their body, going back to their heritage on Chagorus. The Khan himself is kind of a dickhead, but a reasonable one. He thinks ahead, he's intelligent, he's patient. He is often underestimated because he doesn't scream his accomplishments from the rooftops, which is what makes him and the White Scars dangerous. His skills are kept at bay, only to be truly shown when the time is needed. The White Scars are a forgotten legion often, but that doesn't diminish their accomplishments. All it does is surprise those who underestimate them. Speed, awesome Mongolian vibe they got going
They also look very cool.
on. And if you really like to stab people, that's the White Scars for you. Shameless thirst break.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Wolf, bitch!
The Space Wolves. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Leman Russ. A Viking, a Savage, the Undertaker. Single word descriptor, wolf, 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 wolf. There's so many goddamn wolf units. Skater, how many?
Good to know that furries have their representation in Warhammer. I'm kidding. Sorry to any Space Wolves mains out there.
Units in the Space Wolves Codex have the word wolf in their name. The Space Wolves are the 6th Legion and hail from Fenris, a frozen wasteland of a world with their Primarch, Leman Russ. I don't really need to spend a whole lot of time talking about the Space Wolves because it's very obvious who they are. They are the 2nd most obvious what their shtick is legion in the 20 legions, besides the World Eaters.
Let me guess, they are good at melee combat.
But when you look at the Space Wolves behind, what do you see? Do you see Vikings in space? You've done it. Congratulations, you have found Vikings in space. But they have as much in common with a regular Marine as an all-day Viking with like a Roman soldier. You see, as a Space Marine, your body is so enhanced that you filter out poison, and so you can't get drunk. The Space Wolves distill a special mead out of a horrible poisonous plant that would kill a normal human so they could get drunk. They have fangs in their mouths. They sometimes cannibalize their enemies. Sometimes they eat people because they gain knowledge about them from there and about battle plans. The Space Wolves are savages. They're
Do they actually, or is that something they fucking tell other people to excuse the cannibalism? Is that topic explored in their lore? That sounds really fucking out of place.
raiders. They're Vikings. But despite all of this, they are loyal to their core. Leman Russ is an egotistical guy who just shouts stories and tales of his accomplishments everywhere they can. But at the same time, he was so damn loyal that instead of gunning down his foes, he hit him with a fucking backbreaker to show his devotion to wrestling. If you want Vikings in space, you found it. Play the Vikings in space.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Okay.
The Imperial Fists. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rogel Dorn. A builder, a phalanx, and he needs a hand. Single word descriptor, fortify. The Imperial Fists are led by Primarch Rogel Dorn on their homeworld of Inuit. However, they themselves are actually a fleet-based chapter, with their main source of recruitment coming from an enormous moon-sized ship called the Phalanx. The Fists are a chapter you think of...
Ooh, I like that. I like the Phalanx and the way it looked.
Enormous moon-sized ship called the Phalanx.
That's cool. Okay. That's cool.
The Fists are a chapter you think of when you think of duty. They love to serve. The love to serve and the inability to be moved. Rogel Dorn is an architect, a master builder, and basically a rock in brain and body.
I don't like some of their looks. Kinda too yellow for me.
A lack of humor
much
or
mustard
ability to
on,
lie
like,
shows
all
that he is
over.
as blunt as the weapons of war he creates. Not the swords he makes, but like blunt, strong weapons. The Fists are the same. Take your archetypical American Marine style look, a buzz cut, a hard sense of duty, and then throw in some power armor and a love for building defenses, and you have the Imperial Fists.
Nice.
They are immovable. When you find a spot, they're ready to defend. You can't breach them. Their knowledge of defensive warfare is paramount. Without them, the Horus Heresy would have been so much more effective, but thanks to their insane and immovable tenacity,
Man, they fucking look like Ronald McDonald as Space Marines. Man, their looks is kinda disappointing to me.
Imperium lives.
But I don't think they were shown as as actual figurines yet, or did I miss it? Maybe it will be at the end. Yeah, there's going to be one. I wanna see the actual figurines.
And let's not forget that Iron Warrior and Imperial Fist rivalry. Want to know why the Iron Warriors are so bitter? These guys are the reason why.
Hey, guys, bring the thing! Where is he going? Hey! Hey, that could have killed me! Hey, guys! We missed! Get another!
Dorn and Perturabo are basically two sides of the same coin. One is just a bit more level-headed and got better jobs. If you want to be defensive, to be good at everything Space Marines are good at, bolters, heavy weapons,
Yeah, I don't like the yellow. Man, they are so cool. It sometimes is like, it sometimes do be like that in like tabletops or video games in general, where you like something really much, but the aesthetic of that thing, you're like, I think for me, obviously this is very fucking subjective, like, let's not pretend. For me, in StarCraft, I kinda like the idea of the Protoss. They obviously were supposed to be the Eldar from Warhammer 40k, but then the deal with Warhammer went through and they made like their knockoff brand Eldar, basically. And yeah, the Protoss are this super advanced race that is kinda dwindling, you know, they are on their way out, basically. But they are the wise race that sees ahead, and they have this amazing technology. And their whole shtick in StarCraft is that they never build anything, they just teleport their existing things into where they need it to be. And the Protoss are so cool, but I don't fucking like how they look. I just don't like their whole aesthetic. Like, they are the least appealing playable faction in StarCraft just because of the aesthetics to me. The Zergs and the human, whatever the fuck they're called, I always forget. They are so much cooler. And that's how I feel kinda about this. They seem cool, but their aesthetics, like, there are way better looking legions out there. Too much mustard and everything.
vehicles. You want a classic military fighting force? Start fisting.
I am having a very bad day. Today is one of the worst days.
Oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. The Night Lords. Allegiance, Heretic.
The edge is overflowing. Like, the edge is already pouring out of the screen.
Primarch
This is gonna be
Conrad
good.
Kurz, a sadist, a vigilante, the presso espresso. Single word, fear. The Night Lords are my favorite legion, hailing from Nostromo, and their Primarch, Conrad Kurz. They are a traitor legion from a planet known as the Sunless World, or the World of Endless Night. Nostromo is a horrible hive city that is known for being host to some of the worst gang violence, murder, and working conditions around. The only thing keeping the population in check is the suicide rate. The Night Lords followed in the footsteps of their Primarch, a man who believed in a twisted sense of justice and that the only way to make humans compliant is through fear. The Legion's lesson has been lost on them, as their ranks were repopulated by gang members, murderers, arsonists, torturers, and other words I can't say on YouTube, as young as 12 years old. Murderers before they were even teenagers, raised to become demigods. Now, fear is what...
Okay, so you can become a Space Marine, just like when you are chosen, just they inject it into you, I guess. Don't know where I got this idea that they are like lab grown and basically destined to be Space Marines. But does this mean, because obviously Night Lords apparently aren't too picky who they merge into their fucking Space Marine Legion ranks? But I assume the Imperium of Man only gives this honor to like the most accomplished. like, I don't know, guardsmen or other people that did like impressive deeds.
They sow, and flesh is what they reap. The Night Lords are scum. They are the exact opposite of all other legions. They torture and they maim and they flay because they think it's fun. They run away often so they can come back and kill you with more numbers. They prey on the innocent and the weak. They kill normal civilians because it's easy and flee any battle where they don't possess overwhelming odds. They're
Fucking pussies! Why would you want to play this legion? They sound like the bitchiest of the bitch boys available in the setting. What the fuck?
They're the antithesis of normal Space Marines.
Yeah, exactly. What? Like, I don't. That idea is so unappealing to me, and the very extremely overtly edgy designs. That's not for me.
They are scum. One time,
Like, sorry guys, I'm not into Twilight. I guess people who like them Night Lords, they like their Twilights, you know. I'm not that into vampire. I'm gonna piss so many people off with the shit I say in this video.
the world did not
Goddamn.
comply to their demands, so they raided one of their ships and brought it into atmosphere. The crowds cheered and clapped as it appears that they had won the battle. And the airlocks opened, and the skinned and flayed bodies of the crew were thrown down in the populace. In other words, a legion of gangers and criminals. Add together a heavy Slavic influence to them, and you've got my favorite faction.
You have not done the dishes for.
But they do have that.
And you've got my
But like okay, I fucking hate the helmets with the wings. That shit looks goofy. It doesn't look cool. It just looks goofy. But the color is nice. I like their color. Goes well with that gold, I think. Way better than the fucking purple. Man, how is it that the one legion that's supposed to be all over, you know, all about style and presenting themselves, among other things, of course, they just don't look good. I don't get that. But that deep blue, like that dark blue, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I like that
favorite
color.
faction.
You have not done the dishes for 5 years. So embarrassed when people come over here.
What does it matter? You bring them over, you kill them. Vampires don't do dishes.
The Blood Angels. Allegiance, loyal. Primarch, sanguineous. An angel, a vampire, a dead-ass motherfucker. Single word description.
Another vampire kind of legion. That's weird. I think Blood Angels are really popular because I've seen a bunch of those fucking red Space Marines.
Descriptor, blood. The Blood Angels are 9th Legion, hailing from the homeworld of Baal, with their Primarch, Sanguinius. The Blood
He looks
Angels
cool.
are a tragic
Oh,
tale with
he
one of the
looks
best
so
Primarchs,
fucking
one
cool.
beloved by almost everybody, a genuine angelic figure who led his people to glory, killed by the hands of the traitor Horus before the Emperor's eyes. The death of their Primarch led the entire Legion to madness as their gene seed malfunctioned and created something known as the Black Rage. The Blood Angels degrade over time, experiencing something called the Red Thirst, which gives them a genuine vampiric thirst for blood. As their minds degrade and break down, they get angrier and angrier, becoming berserk killing machines.
Man, I gotta say, Warhammer 40k has some amazing stories, and like those cool factions with like really interesting lore. And then there's shit like this, which sounds genuinely so fucking corny it would belong in an anime specifically directed at like young teens. It just sounds so corny, man. Holy shit. Like the Blood Angels and the previous one, Night Lords, they just sound so corny. I would be embarrassed to rep those fucking factions because of that lore. God damn.
machines with no other goal than to tear everything in sight apart. But they don't see it as that. They see themselves there, at their Primarch's demise, with Horus in sight. And to them, it's time for vengeance. That Space Marine over there, that Chaos Space Marine, that's Horus. Kill him. That Orc War Boss over there, Horus. Kill him. That Tyranid Swarm, 1,000 Horuses. Horai. Kill them all. Did your toast come out a little bit burnt? Horus sabotaged your toaster. Destroy the toaster. Destroy it. Do it. Do it. Kill your toaster. Do it. This slow, debilitating disease takes over the Blood Angels, and it gives them this angelic, vampire, and Catholic-inspired imagery. They have chalices of blood. They rest in coffins and can even use psychic powers to...
Oh, don't say they rest in coffins. The corn. The corniness. Oh my god. The fucking corny legion is here and they're corning it up. Holy fuck, the corniness of it all. I do like the basic underlining of this legion, like that they are, you know, driven mad, and they because their Primarch was slain, they kinda went a little fucking crazy because of the genome malfunction, and, you know, they see they have this ability to get enraged because, you know, they see it as, like, they imagine that other things are Horus. That's cool, but all of the blood drinking shit and the vampiric powers, oh my god, that's so edgy.
Sprout angel wings from their bodies. They are a tragedy through and through, and the...
And also, I was about to say, their designs and color scheme are pretty cool. I imagine that's why they are so popular. Just cool ass fucking looking models. Their primary color is very cool looking, you know, fits the setting. But that lore, man, oh my god.
Only thing that will look more tragic are the mangled bodies of those they come in contact with.
I got a diesel engine, and honey, we forgot to mention, we're gonna take your job away.
The Iron Hands. Allegiance, loyalist. Primarch, Ferrus Manus, a machinist, an inventor, and not a great head on his shoulders. Single word, bionics. The Iron Hands are from the home planet of Medusa and their Primarch, Ferrus Manus. Does Ferrus Manus have an iron hand? You fucking know he's got an iron hand. The Iron Hands believe that the flesh is weakness. But despite all of their enhancements, despite all the things that made them demigods, replacing some of the flesh with bionics will allow them to serve the Emperor more. They go hard into vehicles and dreadnoughts. Dreadnoughts being giant walking sarcophagi that have wounded Space Marines piloting them from the inside. Vehicles, metal, upgrades. These are the things that make up this legion. Their tech marines have servo arms sticking out from all directions. They have a wide array of mechanics and extremely often replace limbs with metal ones, serving all kinds of different functions to deal with their enemies. The Iron Hands are also...
I mean, that's just practical. Like, I imagined fucking Space Marines, like, if you lose your hand, do they have the technology to do something about lost limbs, or do they need a prosthetic hand? Like, if they need to replace lost limbs, which, you know, they are fighting some really fucked up enemies, so I imagine it's real easy to lose a limb. In that world, like, having the mastery over bionics would be fucking just practical, and, you know.
So not particularly nice. They're kind of assholes. I mean, Marines are already normally pretty big assholes, but they're a little bit up there because of their flesh, civilians made of flesh, because you see, the flesh is weak. Flesh is corruptible. Bionics, the strength of the machine is pure and cannot so easily be corrupted. So if you want people...
I mean, they speaking, you know. They speak in facts, though. Flesh is weakness.
Who have this little techno-fetishistic vibe to them, that love their vehicles and their...
Yep, those are some cool figurines. Great color scheme. That's just fucking cool all around.
Walking coffins hit up the Iron Hands.
Understand, Commander? I was never here.
Legion 11.
Yeah, again, not deep enough into lore to understand what that means.
Why, hello there. I have returned from touching grass. I know. I'm pretty cool with the grass touching. And now let's continue our Warhammer lecture.
Yes. Waffles my jammies. Okay, so what's going on here?
I am a super sandwich!
The World Eaters. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Angron. A butcher, a slaughterer.
Like extremely, earth-shatteringly, unreasonably fuck-ass mad.
Single word descriptor, anger. Hey you! Yeah, you! Are you mad? Do you just fucking hate everything? Do you want to murder everything in sight and get rewarded?
Evoking the images of Yandere Simulator. It's a thing that aged a little poorly given context about that game's developer now.
For doing so, then you should join the World Eaters, home planet of Nuceria, and Primarch Angron, who, if the name didn't suggest,
yeah, I was about to say that the name is pretty on the nose.
Fucking angry. Angron was raised a slave, forced to fight in gladiator pits. When he refused, they shoved old world tech into his brain, so that if he ever felt any emotion other than anger, it caused him extreme pain. All his sons, wanting to be like their dad, also put a version of these nails in their brain. So now you have an entire legion who literally feel unimaginable pain if they are feeling any emotion other than anger. Slap them with a freight train of armor, 2 goddamn chainsaw axes, and you can see what's gonna happen. It's no wonder they're corrupted by corn. They're honestly a surprisingly sad legion that I actually screwed up in assuming that they were all just angry murderers. I mean, they are, but they didn't start out that way. Their corn corruption degraded their intelligence, their free will, and made powerful warriors into arguably even more powerful warriors, but blunt, like frothing at the mouth psycho warriors. The World Eaters, like I mentioned in the Space Wolves, they wear their concept on their sleeve. They are angry, they want to kill things, they want to kill you, and maybe some of their friends, and that's the faction. They're red, they're mad, they're gonna run at you and cause death. If you like that, you play the World Eaters. Or you like it because they were, you know, at one point a lot better than that. Most of Warhammer was a lot better than that. I was once a lot better than that. That was when I was in college. I didn't finish college, and neither did Angron.
Cool designs, the color scheme. If you go with red or blue, for that matter, you can't miss, it seems. So yeah, again, cool designs. I really like them.
Hail Caesar! If it's not done by sunrise, I'll cut your balls off.
The Ultramarines. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Rabute Gilliman. That's how it's said. An Analyst, a Diplomat, a Blueberry Boy Scout. Single word descriptor, duty. When you see Space Marines on a box or just Space Marines in promotional material, notice how they are always colored blue. These are the blue Space Marines. These ones here, the Ultramarines, who hail from the world of Macrog with their Primarch, Rabute Gorilla Man. Ultramarines are the white bread of Space Marines, the grilled chicken with salt and pepper. This is by no means...
Yeah, like Bricky explained here, like every time you see if you see a Space Marine, it's usually like the most common one are the blue ones, and if you see like a Chaos Space Marine, usually most commonly it's the red ones. Like now I'm a little confused because there are way more than just one legion of red Space Marines. So I'm a little confused which fucking legion is so popular that I keep seeing the red Chaos Space Marines. Because yeah, the blues I'm assuming are the Ultramarines because, like Bricky said, they are literally the default.
It's an insult. They are plain Jane, but that's also because they are so goddamn good at their job. Their skill for warfare is paramount, but so is their ability for leadership. Gilliman for a while was a damn boring Primarch for all the reasons he was great because no matter how hard you try, you don't win a war without logistics, without supply lines, without trade routes, without infrastructure and economy. You don't win anything without all that stuff, and Guilliman knows it, which is why he has one of the largest standing empires in the Imperium, named Ultramar, which is why his sons are the most recognizable of all the Space Marines, which is why the only thing that rivals the weight of their victories is the weight of their egos. They are good at everything and bad at nothing. They are great at everything. Other legions can do other things better than them, but they are good at everything. The most interesting thing about the Ultramarines is their characters, as they are all now inflicted with various amounts of ultra depression for many reasons. Guilliman is, at the time of recording, the only playable Primarch currently on the tabletop, and the only one that has returned to the 41st millennium for the Loyalist side. He took one look at what his empire has become and immediately wanted to fucking die. Being forced to lead everything he once hated, an Imperium rotten to its core with his sole responsibility to save it, is kind of what makes him interesting. They are a perfectly standard legion with perfectly standard ideals, and great if you want a simple, clean slate.
Uh-oh, stinky, funny poop, poop funny, woo!
The Death Guard. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch, Mortarian. A reaper, a poison, an ungodly stench. Single word descriptor, rot. The Death Guard hail from Barbaros, with the Primarch Mortarian.
A lot of blowing up in the universe.
The 14th Legion were known for their incredible resilience to damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Where the Imperial Fists were defensive thanks to tactics and posturing, the Death Guard were resilient because they could take a punch or a gut shot or a cannon to the chest and just keep on moving. They are slow, yet they are resistant, which was only confounded as a Death Guard captain, Typhus, codename Dickhead, sold them out to Nurgle, god of rot and decay. Now, the Death Guard are a Nurgle-worshipping infected legion whose ability to feel pain and take damage has all but just gone away. They wade through gunfire, able to kill normal Marines 10 times over and continue unharmed, all while spreading rot and disease in the name of their dark, very stinky master. Where the Death Guard enter
That's pretty cool because it's very distinct. Some of the other legions, I gotta fucking say, are just different flavors of the same thing. This legion, while I wouldn't gravitate towards this is, they have very much their own identity, and that's cool.
Plague spreads. People get sick and they die. They spread debilitating disease to all around them. Why would a legion need to be anything more than very tanky when their enemies are falling over, puking, firing out of both ends, and having their skin peel off just by their presence? Entire worlds infested with a zombie rot, swarms of insects that eat flesh and metal alike, all while the Legion advances slowly, painfully, allowing the disease they spread to take its toll before they reap the lives they believe belong to them. And look at Mortarian's model, dude. The man is baller as fuck. A gigantic model with a gigantic scythe. Come on now. The Death Guard.
Yeah, like I said, the big thing with those guys is identity, because they actually look a little different than your standard Space Marine Legion, and that's cool. I don't like the puke green, but definitely fits their identity, so can't really hate on that. Love the designs though, they are so fucking cool, they are so different.
Guard.
For my next trick!
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
The Thousand Sons. Allegiance, heretic. Primarch, Magnus the Red.
Another fucking red Space Marine Legion? Come on, man. How many reds are there?
Scholar, a sorcerer, a fucking nerd. Single word descriptor? Magic. The Thousand Sons hail from their homeworld of Prospero, with their Primarch Magnus the Red. The final of our 4 major Chaos God factions, the Thousand Sons are disciples of Zeech, the Changer of Ways. Heavily inspired by their Egyptian theming, the Legion themselves are slaves to the god
they are
Trick.
a little different than other red legions, I guess. They have those like Egyptian ornaments, so...
And change, most of them no longer even having a physical form, reduced to just dust, piloting suits of armor at the whim of a sorcerer leader. The Thousand Sons do not deserve their fate. There's a common joke that Magnus did nothing wrong. This is untrue. He has done much wrong. However, he is very sympathetic, mainly because the Space Wolves and Leman Russ sought to end their rivalry through the annihilation of their legion, escaping only through the assistance of the Changer of Ways, and forever changed because of it. Meanwhile, magic is their main tool. Take some Lovecraftian style abilities, the eyes everywhere, and potent spells to be cast at their foes, whether these are bolts of psychic lightning, reversing time itself, opening up portals to unreality, or changing the very fabric of the universe. The Thousand Suns sorcery knows.
That sounds very fucking cool, not gonna lie. Just being able to cast spells in setting like Warhammer 40k. That's cool.
No bounds, and they are very good at it. If you're a fan of like wizards, your classic style of spellcaster, and you want a ton of them, combined with a tragic backstory and a Primarch who, like Mortarion, looks fucking baller, the Thousand Suns are for you.
You fucking asshole! There's no way, you're a fucking cheater. You're such a sore loser. You're a cheater. My dad works at Nintendo!
The Sons of Horus, or the Luna Wolves, or the Black Legion. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Horus, a warlord, a treasured friend, or the traitor himself. Single word descriptor, assault. The Sons of Horus are the formal name of Horus's legion, hailing from the world of Chthoniya. The Sons of Horus themselves were assault troops. The strength of their attack was some of the most powerful in the legions. While the White Scars may favor speed for their strikes, the Sons of Horus were known for their overall offensive power. It was even said that if the Sons of Horus met the Imperial Fists, they would be at a stalemate for eternity. However, the Sons of Horus are no longer, because, well, they are now instead the Black Legion, led by Abaddon the Despoiler, who claims to succeed where his father failed. The Black Legion are still an offensive and assault-based force, but they act much like the Ultramarines, but for chaos. Your standard black and brass Space Marine, who are known for recruiting in all different kinds of avenues. Anyone can become a...
I definitely saw the Black Space Marines too. But for some reason, I always see the fucking red Chaos Space Marines. That's so weird.
Member of the Black Legion. Anyone can swear allegiance to the War Master. You gain favor by not just one, but all four gods equally. Their famous line, "Let the galaxy burn," is the best way to describe them. It doesn't matter what the outcome is. So long as the Imperium dies, the Black Legion has done its job. They are a legion formed from hatred and spite, with a clear goal in mind, as the Dark Gods are calling and the Black Legion are
if they are, you know, black color scheme, you can expect they're gonna look fucking cool. But they also have, I can see they have a lot of unique models. I see a lot of like that, you know, mutated demonic, like more corrupt models rather than just the standard you know, guy in a fucking exoskeleton or rather big ass armor, which is very cool. Like I said, more the more diversity the better, because like every player can then just pick whatever suits them the most, and they look fucking baller.
Sure,
not gonna lie.
Hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
No.
It wasn't fucking optional!
The Word Bearers. Allegiance? Heretic. Primarch? Lorgar Aurelian. A preacher. A fanatic. A choir boy. Single word descriptor? Zeal. If the Black Legion answer the call of the Dark Gods, what if instead you decide to call the gods first? Well, then the Word Bearers are for you. The 17th Legion, led by Primarch Lorgar on the planet of Colchis.
Whoa, that's
originally obsessed with
I was about
the
to say
Emperor of Mankind as a god. They found that
that's very surprising, but yeah.
Despite his divinity, he was not worthy of worship because, you know, he raised their equivalent of Jerusalem to the ground for daring to worship him. Like, could you imagine if God actually showed up and was just like, Jerusalem is stupid, it just destroyed the whole thing? Like, what would that do to your head? But there are gods that want worship and will reward those who do. The Word Bearers are chaos worshippers to a T. All Chaos Gods. They specialize in demonic rituals, the summoning of demons, and the mutual possession of their own troops. They welcome demons to their bodies to fight as one. They exalt the dark gods themselves for aid, and guess what? They answer. In the world of 40k, Satan doesn't just call you back. He hops in his GT Mustang and he crashes on your couch. In the world of 40k, your rituals will end with genuine results. The word bearers know this. They know through sacrifices, through devotion, through dark baptism, the gods will answer and they will be rewarded. So they use it. They bring forth demons.
I mean, yeah, makes sense, to be honest.
They bring forth the power of the Neverborn, the damned, and those that hide in the dark to bear against the Imperial.
Kinda surprised that not all of fucking Chaos Space Marine Legions do that, because, like, that's such an easy, you know, that seems like such a brain-dead thing. Like, a battle starts, yo, fucking Demon Lord, help a homie out, I wanna destroy those guys, you know? How about I let you take over my body and you can fuck them up with your demonic power? Like, that sounds like something you should instantly do as soon as you get into combat, like as a Chaos Worshipper.
Lorgar sits
weird
there,
that not everybody does that.
As the truth he always knew, the existence of gods and the importance of faith is a reality. And it is a tool he is using to rend the galaxy.
Dear Sir Stroke Madam, fire! Exclamation mark. Fire! Exclamation mark. Help me!
The Salamanders. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Vulcan. A Forge Master. A Behemoth. A very huggy boy. Single word descriptor, fire. The Salamanders hail from Nocturne, a volcanic planet home to their Primarch Vulcan. They are the largest of the Space Marines, not due to numbers, but rather size. Vulcan, he is an enormous slab of beef, by far the largest of all the Primarchs. However, don't let his size fool you, as he is also the kindest. Salamanders have the juxtaposition of looking frightening, being larger than other Marines, while also boasting an ashy, like...
That's weird to me that they are the biggest, because I would assume, like, all of the legions that just strap a bunch of extra fucking metal on top of their armor would be the biggest, but... Also, that's kind of a cool Legion characteristic, that they are more like humanitarian rather than all of the other Legion, especially in fucking 40k, where everything is so brutal. Like, even if somebody comes to your aid, you're not guaranteed that they won't just fucking wipe your planet, because they might be like, I don't know, Chaos was here, I think we need to go scorch earth on your ass.
Coal color skin and blazing red eyes, while simultaneously carrying around all manner of flame weaponry. So your average civilian might be spooked, but in reality, they are by far the kindest of all the legions to those civilians. Vulcan believes that to safeguard the Imperium is to, at the end of the day, safeguard its people. So unlike other legions who put their lives far and above the average human, the Salamanders spend significantly more time trying to save them, often taking numerous losses by doing so.
Like I said, that's a fucking cool characteristic.
They're very independent as well. They're forgers and blacksmiths, maintaining their own weapons and crafting versions of it. They also have the very rare privilege of being able to see their families even after becoming a Space Marine. They care, which is the funny part, because the 7.5-foot tall giant with flaming red eyes who just reduced a traitor to bubbling metal says, "You have nothing to fear, young citizen. Take my hand." If you enjoy fire, melting things, and being the nicer...
Holy fuck, those are huge. Huge. Again, that's something I would expect from the other legions that strap like a bunch of extra metal on their shit. You know, like extra reinforced armor. They look fucking cool, man.
The Marines,
holy shit.
Salamanders are for you.
Saga, sneak attacks don't work if you yell it out loud.
The Raven Guard. Allegiance, Loyalist. Primarch, Corvus Corax. A Raven, a Shadow. An Industrial Dance DJ. Single word descriptor, Stealth. The Raven Guard are the final Loyalist Legion at 19 and hail from the planet Deliverance with Primarch Corvus Corax. If it hasn't been made clear enough already, the Raven Guard are stealth specialists and proficient in all manners of assassination. Despite this, their signature winged jump pack and double lightning claw look is, well, not very stealthy. They are named after, of course, the Raven and embody the entire concept of it as a herald of death. They are stealthy, patient hunters that have no problem with waiting and waiting and waiting until the moment to strike.
Cool helmet design with the beak thing. That's kinda cool.
Is at hand. It's not easy being a stealth faction when your stealth involves people in 1 ton of power armor, but
I imagine
that more than anything, it should not be used to show how ridiculous 40k is, even though it is, but rather to show how good the Raven Guard are at their jobs. It's not about them sneaking around you without being seen, but it's also about them having lied in wait for so long that it wasn't until they were in striking distance that you even realized they had been there. And also, if you want, you know, edgelord Marines with a long black haircut, pale skin, ravens that...
This is considered edgelord Marines? Seriously? After the fucking Bloodlords or whatever, after the 2 vampire factions, this is considered edgelord? Come on. The 2 other fucking Chaos Space Marine factions were so much edgier than that and so much more cornier too.
Everywhere. If you want to field assassins and snipers abound, then the Raven Guard are for you.
It could be in this very room. It could be you. It could be me. It could even be... Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, what? It was obvious.
The Alpha Legion. Allegiance, Heretic. Primarch, Alfarius, and Omegon. Saboteurs, destabilizers, they're in your walls. Single word descriptor, espionage. Finally, the 20th Legion, the Alpha Legion, led by Alfarius and Omegon, the only Legion to have 2 Primarchs who were split as twins. The Alpha Legion are heretical, we think, and specialize in destabilization of society and armies. Their entire shtick is the Hydra, because when you cut off one head, 2 more take its place. All of the Alpha Legion look exactly like their Primarch. Olive skin, shaved head. All claim to be Alfarius. All are liars.
Okay, that's a cool ass fucking theme, that they are like a legion of deceivers and they are like, oh yeah, I'm the main guy, man.
Make the largest use of sleeper cells and cultists in the Chaos Space Marine factions because it's extremely easy to take over a planet when you
poisoned our water supply, burned our crops, and delivered a plague unto our houses.
Where the Raven Guard use stealth and sabotage to eliminate their enemies, the Alpha Legion prefer to weaken them over time with sleeper agents, impersonations, basically anything you can imagine from a hardcore spy movie or Cold War level espionage. Being Alfarius is not only an honor, being Alfarius is a requirement. There's a story of someone chasing down an Alpha Legion agent for years upon years, and when they finally catch up with them and they see them, they see that the agent is wearing the same face as their pursuer, because this was the plan all along, to kill him and take his spot. We're talking facial reconstruction surgery, we're talking hacking, we're talking political assassination and impersonation, everything. They are Space Marines in name only, because being a strong stoic warrior is not what the Alpha Legion is interested in. In fact, the Alpha Legion is interested in you not even knowing that the Alpha Legion is a thing. I am Alfarius. You are Alfarius. We are all Alfarius in his Lord's glorious army.
Cool theme, cool designs. Yeah, they seem actually cool.
Thank you everyone so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a little something. I hope if you were on the fence about what Space Marines you wanted to field, you would now have a better idea of what you want to play. I am Gamer Sub Shaker. It's on sale. It's on pre-order. It's ready to go. Just get it. Just get it. Use code Bricky. It's in the description. Just get it. And a huge thank you to all of my patrons over on patreon.com/Bricky. And
I'm gonna let this roll because Bricky deserves all of the support and sharing, because those 3 videos of his that I watched on this channel, they were all fucking amazing.
And the members on the YouTube channel, your names are here. I thank you a ton. You are all very generous. And oh, I need to answer a question. Have you ever attempted to touch grass but end up touching the Destiny 2 loading screen? Oh, damn it. I just... Yeah? So?
Come on. Obviously, you're a skater.
Okay, that was very cool. Very, very, very cool. Yeah, not really much to say. I said my piece already pretty much like as I was going through the video, so yeah, just leave your thoughts in the comments below, and you know, leave your suggestions. I read every single comment that ever gets posted. Some of them kinda get filtered by the YouTube automatic filter thing. And sorry guys, I need to use it because I don't have like a moderator and I don't want some shitty comments to take up space in the comments box. And I know that some like legitimate comments got cut up because of that. And I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it, and thank you very much for watching and supporting my work, and I will see you guys in the next one as always.